I honestly grow insecure as I get older. Even when you hot, comes a day when you get colder. Comes a day when you slower, and time is taking its toll. 45 on the back of the jersey upon your soul. I'm scared of letting go. I don't know what the future holds. In my nightmares, I having nightmares. I'm quite scared of what's right and fair, how I fare in eternity. And will I hear well done when he turns to me? Or will I hear you care too much about all this stuff? It really don't matter. You chased the wind and you won and you got to the top of a 2-foot ladder. What's after I can capture all this mess my heart was after? Will I end up empty-handed when I stand before my master? After the show, after the set, after the music stops, what's next? Did I master the mathematics of a passive disaster? Adding my selfish ambition, all the while subtracting what matters. And I'm scared of falling and failing in front of all of my foes. I fear some friends are unfaithful, so I keep my small circle closed. I don't want no handouts or favors, no functional saviors. I'ma tell that truth till it kills me, and I'm chilling with my creator. Jesus, 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 Jesus. To all of my haters, for the ones who think I forgot them, and the ones who won't let me say it, I ain't scared no more. I'm unashamed.
You see, you wouldn't ask why the rose that grew from the concrete had damaged petals. On the contrary, we would all celebrate its tenacity. We would all love its will to reach the sun. Well, we are the roses. This is the concrete. These are my damaged petals. Don't ask me why. Ask me how.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, claiming to be under God, clearly divisible, making a mockery of liberty and justice for some. You care more about burnt down storefronts in response to injustice than you do burnt down places of worship. Are these not the same houses of a God that many of us pray to with such allegiance? Are his children who come here not worthy? Do they deserve to die? And since when did we begin to criticize eulogies, especially ones given by a man who runs this country, runs your country? There's a fire being lit beyond the churches that you continue to burn down, one that will not be put out with watered down apologies. The burn will be felt. I will not provide repellent. The burn will be felt, and only then will you pray as you stand in the same ashes you created, begging for a little bit of that melanin that you hate so much to save you from the heat. Happy 4th.
Peace. What is peace? People say there will never be peace. But I say the world may not be peaceful, but peace can always be in you. Some rappers say peace is a joke where I'm from. But I say peace is in the heart, not where you're from. Religious people say peace can come when we start to love one another. But I say I am not religious, but I am Christian. And peace will come when God wills it. Peace will happen, but it's in you to see it, rather than watching others that you think have it. Some people have all the money and fame, but behind closed doors, they may be in shame. So love one another, but believe this: if God is not with you, there is no other. Peace.
Turn around and close your eyes. Don't look at me as I approach you. You know I'm coming. Yes, I'm coming. But you don't know when I will touch you. Become blind so you can see me in your mind's eye. Engage in what you like for me to do. Moving like you want me to move. Gazing at me in your mind's eye. In the way most true. Feel my thoughts. touch my desires. Smell my movement spread smoothly with finesse. Share with me as I'm open to you, only you. Mentally stroke my intentions and hear its sweetness. Race with my minds to blissful finish lines. I most assuredly promise to let you win. After you stride around taking your victory lap, I promise to race you again. Stay turned around and keep closed your eyes. Don't look for me as I approach you. You feel me coming. Yes, I'm coming, not knowing when I will touch you. Anticipation.
Hashtag selfie, YOLO, twerk. Just a few of the words that have consumed our daily lives, our work. And by work, I mean our purpose, what we were sent here to do by an amazing creator, but we've forgotten about him too. You see, we care more about the amount of likes on an Instagram photo than the amount of love we show. And we turn on the TV the second we get home, but we turn our head when we see someone alone, someone lost, someone hurting, but we're too busy rewording a tweet. And we live in this little bubble where our nice life is so sweet. Self-sufficient, self-serving. Isn't it unnerving that we live in a world that values material possessions and doesn't bother to ask the question if what we do is right, and instead, does it feel good? I mean, if it feels good, it must be right. But we forget that most regret comes from what seemed to feel good at the time. I mean, we say we want to change the world, but all we do is change our status. But Molly, I post about Jesus. Yeah, well, that's good and fine, but a selfie with a Bible verse? I guess what I'm implying is that it's about making everyone else think that our lives are so grand. Funny how the boastful were the ones Christ couldn't stand. And it's not surprising how walls of insecurities are rising when we're constantly comparing our backstories to the highlights of everyone else's lives. And I meet more girls every day who would rather die because they see themselves as worthless. They think their life has no purpose because who can compare to the image of beauty in Vogue that is seemingly perfect? Guys getting high and using girls like a drug. Cause bro, you ain't cool unless you're living like a thug. And it's just a circle of using and being used. And I'm so done with the gift of free will being abused. It's time to make your life worth something more than just the highest score on Flappy Bird. You have a voice that should be heard. You want to be happy and love yourself more? How about you stop focusing on you and start opening a door, covering a meal, live your life in a way where the person you portray isn't a copy of the person who the world tells you to be. Because the very best version is the one that can break free of all the influence and find that inner confidence. And once you find that, you're going to start to realize that you don't need more than 12 likes to feel pretty. And you won't want to subtweet to get others' pity. Once we can all reach this point, that's where change begins to happen. And maybe I'm crazy, but I have this vision that our generation breaks the stereotypes of religion, that we break down the walls of judgment and pride, and instead with arms open, welcome everyone inside to a place where we can all come together to do the things that God really wanted, like loving each other and loving Him, more than ourselves and more than our things. Now some say that won't happen, so I challenge you to make the change in yourself and change what the future brings. Because maybe social media sets what is the norm, but I, for one, won't be frozen in a world I've been chosen to transform.
He is more than you could ever need. He's more than the eye could see. I don't deserve His love, but He's always been there for me. You see, Jesus met me when I was at my lowest. And if you don't know Jesus, know this. He is the greatest example of generosity this world of greed has ever seen. And when Jesus hit the scene, He changed the scenery and met diversity with serenity. If you're looking for peace, He offers plenty. Jesus was and Jesus will forever be King. And when the angels sing, they sing of the grace that was displayed for sinners like me. I can't explain Him and I can't describe Him. And if I could, He wouldn't be Jesus, because you can't explain eternity and you can't comprehend the galaxies. But it was the loving hands of Jesus who spun them into existence and created man. man knowing he would go to the cross to pay our sentence. There was a certificate of judgment with a period after the sentence, and we were sentenced to death long before he said it is finished. He is a father to the orphan, a shelter for the homeless, a hiding place for the abused, and an anchor for our storms. He stormed the gates of hell and came out on top, and the power of his gospel cannot be stopped, even when the world tries. And they try a lot. He traded places with Barabbas and became the catalyst of missions across the world, covering every portion of the atlas. If you're in need of rest, I know of a mattress. If you don't know Jesus, your future is tragic, but he gladly embraced tragedy so we could live in his presence of majesty. His presence is presence, and it's his presence that presents preciousness to a world of peasants. He is far from pretentious, but still loves those who are. He is the light of the world and hung the stars. He brings the dead to life and delivers life to the dead. He took a crown of thorns on his head so we could put crowns at his feet, and I can't wait until I get to kiss his feet that were nailed to a cross for me and for you and for every person around the world. He loves the world, and I love his word because the word became flesh, and in his flesh he demonstrated the word to the world. He is an example to every boy and every girl. He is a lover of black people. He is a lover of white people. He is a lover of the unchurched and the assembly under the steeple. He doesn't see the believers' failures, but still takes time to celebrate their faithfulness. It's the power of the Spirit that enables us and gives us boldness when the world labels us. And if you want to label me, please call me a Jesus freak. And if that freaks you out, good. Because it's better to be good with God than to fight being misunderstood by a world that could never understand. So let it be understood that I don't worship man, we worship Jesus. And although he doesn't need us, he still sees us and pleads with us to run to the cross where he bled for us. His heart bleeds for us, his heart grieves for us, but still graciously grants us a pardon for our treason in a season where the world tries to explain away the work of the Spirit with human reasoning. There is a reason they can't. Because the Spirit is like the wind, and the wind cannot be seen. But loved is the one who believes without seeing the unseen. I'm telling you today that Jesus is something. He's something more. He's something great. And if you want to know him, you don't have to wait. He stands at the narrow path with a key to the gate, and you only have to reach out and embrace his grace. I don't care who's president. I have a king who is always present. I don't care who holds musical celebrity. The voice of the Lord will always be the sweetest melody. I don't care who owns the riches of the globe. My Jesus holds more wealth than one ruby on his robe. I don't care who is the strongest or the fastest. Nothing matches the creator of the universe and his immortal infinite status. I don't care about religious leaders who died and stayed dead. I'll only worship the one who conquered death and wears a crown on his head. His name is Jesus, and I'm telling you, he's something. He was faithful yesterday, and he is faithful today. I can feel his presence whenever I pray, and when the time comes for me to fade away, I'll remember the day I heard him say, "My name is Jesus."